It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by Washita Valley Respiratory Care, where you can breathe a little easier, and Beth Smith at Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. Known as the All-American Boy, Bob Backlund was one of the WWF's biggest stars, twice holding its championship belt. His first reign was the second longest in history, spanning between 1978 and 1983. Robert Louis Backlund was born in Princeton, Minnesota on August 14, 1949. In high school, he was a state finalist in wrestling. During his freshman year at Waldorf College in Forest City, Iowa, he was an All-American in both football and wrestling. Still an amateur, he competed for the North Dakota State University Bison from the late 60s to the early 70s. He began training professionally in 1973 under the guidance of Eddie Sharkey and competed in the American Wrestling Federation. He then wrestled for the NWA and won their Missouri Heavyweight Championship in 1976. Later that year, he joined WWWF, but less than 4 months into his run with the company, Backlund received his first shot at the WWWF Heavyweight Championship against superstar Billy Graham and lost by countout. He then received additional title shots at the champion, and his fortunes started to change. The two went to a double countout in one match. Then Backlund defeated Graham, but by countout. The title can only change hands via pinfall or submission. On February 20th, 1978, at Madison Square Garden, Backlund finally scored a pinfall victory over Graham and won the title. Despite Graham's leg being on the rope during the pinfall, he held the championship until 1983, when he lost it in a match against the Iron Sheik. Shortly afterward, Backlund left the WWF, working sporadically in other promotions, including the short-lived Pro Wrestling USA, a joint venture of the NWA and the AWA. He returned to WWF in 1992, taking part in the 1993 Royal Rumble for over an hour, a record held until 11 years later. At the 1994 Survivor Series, Backlund won his second WWF Championship, defeating Bret Hart. He held the championship for 3 days, before losing it to Diesel at a house show via MSG. While still under contract to WWF, Backlund found work in Japan. After leaving WWF in 1997, Backlund moved back to the Indies. In 2000, he ran unsuccessfully for Congress, representing Connecticut. Following a very brief stint with TNA, in 2007, he rejoined WWE that same year, though he made a few or so appearances within the independent circuit. In 2017, Backlund was released from his WWE contract. 1 year earlier, he was inducted into the George Tragos Thesz Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame. Backlund and his wife Corky, a high school PE teacher, have a daughter named Carrie, and call Glastonbury, Connecticut home. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me every Monday through Friday morning for Trivia Tracks on Fox Sports Camden 97.1.